Hello, good people of the internet. I hope you are doing well. My name is Dr. Amanda Latz, and I'm an associate professor here at Ball State University. The purpose of this video is to give you a brief yet broad overview of our Doctor of Education in Higher Education program here at Ball State University. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be covering a lot of information during the course of this video, so if you have any questions or are interested in the program, please reach out to me so that we can schedule maybe a 30-minute, 45-minute phone call or sit-down meeting. If you look on the screen, I've got my email address there, my phone number, and you can also reach me via social media. Don't hesitate to reach out. It's always a good idea to chat with me to gauge your interest and see if this program is a good fit. Agenda for today. We've got a number of things to cover. First, we're going to talk about the program's big picture, some curricular elements of the program. I'm going to talk about a few course highlights. I'm going to discuss students' pathways, some dissertations, our students, our alumni, briefly going to explain how to apply, and of course at the end, say thank you for tuning in. So in terms of the big picture, in terms of graduate school terminology, if you look at our EDD, our Doctor of Education in Higher Education, the higher education component of the program, of the title of the program, is considered the doctoral major. And then underneath that broad umbrella, we have two concentration options. We have a concentration in higher education and a concentration in community college leadership. So again, your major would be higher education, and then students opt into two concentration pathways, either higher education or community college leadership. In terms of the curriculum, this is broken down into some curricular blocks. To start out with, we've got a core block of 5 courses or 15 credit hours dedicated to common core courses that students will take throughout their program. Some examples of these courses include issues in higher education, legal issues in higher education, and administration and finance. Moving down to the second block, we've got a good chunk of courses dedicated to strengthening your research skills and abilities. 24 credit hours are dedicated to the research portion of the degree, and we offer a nice mix of both quantitative and qualitative courses, as well as some courses dedicated to program evaluation and assessment. These research courses obviously strengthen students' research muscles in preparation for the dissertation. We've got an 18 credit hour block dedicated to your concentration, whether that be higher education or community college leadership. What those sequences look like vary depending on the concentration. Moving down to the fourth block, we have what's called a doctoral cognate that we require of students in the program, and students can opt into either 1 or 2 cognates, which is why you see the differentiated credit allotment there. If a student opts into 1 cognate, that requires 24 credit hours of content in the particular cognate. If a student has 2 cognates, then 15 credit hours are required for each. A cognate is kind of like a doctoral minor. So that is a way that within our program we can give students the opportunity to develop some content expertise in a complementary area. And finally, we dedicate 10 credit hours to the dissertation process. And as you see down there at the bottom of the screen, that equates to either 91 or 97 total credit hours. Another caveat to this is if students opt into a graduate certificate, and we offer many across campus at Ball State, that might bump up the credit hours a little bit more. However, we do have a number of certificate programs that are built into, at least portions are built into our doctoral curriculum, and the graduate school does allow students to double dip in terms of having 1 course count for the doctoral degree and a graduate certificate. So that's our curricular overview. I want to touch on one of our unique courses within the Community College Leadership concentration. We have a course called Community College Leadership Seminar, or EDCC 698. And through the generous donation of some funders, we've been able to, over the years, frame this course as one where we take a deep dive into around 3 contemporary topics germane to community college leadership, and actually invite national leaders, practitioners to campus to work with our students. This course is offered in a blended format every summer, and students who opt into the Community College Leadership concentration actually take this course 3 times, giving them access to national leaders, again, from across the country. This is a great way for our students to hear from folks doing great things, and also provides a terrific networking opportunity. I teach this course in the summer. And again, each summer we rotate through contemporary topics, use different texts, interface with different leaders across the country, and also sometimes go on site visits, which is a particularly fun and interesting experience for our students. So that's something that is most certainly a unique point to our program. I want to talk a little bit about students' pathways now. As you can see on the screen, this is sort of a general timeline. Students can take anywhere from 2 to 4 years in courses, and what happens during this time is, let me kind of back up for a moment. Doctoral education is not simply about taking a series of courses. It's really about a complete experience. So as students go through their coursework over what may be 2 to 4 years, you're building your academic stamina, your understandings of the field, and experimenting with topics that you might find of interest for a future dissertation, comprehensive exam question, etc. So for the first year, I am serving as your main advisor as director of the program. And during that year, we'll work together to think about the courses that you're taking, and we'll work on your program plan, which is essentially a roadmap for completing the program. We'll also talk about who might be eligible and helpful to invite to your doctoral committee. Most students have a 4-person dissertation committee, and this consists of a committee chairperson, a department representative, a cognate representative, and a university representative or an at-large representative. And as director of the program and serving as your primary advisor for year 1, I'll walk you through that process and make sure that we are creating an individualized, comprehensive, and meaningful, purposeful plan for you as you move through the program. Once you're through with coursework, we get into the capstone experiences or projects for the program. And this includes your comprehensive exam process, which your coursework has prepared you for. Then you move into the dissertation proposal phase of the program, which again, your coursework has prepared you for, and your comprehensive exam content feeds into. And then finally, the crescendo of the program is your dissertation, where you're taking time to do an in-depth, independent study of a topic germane to higher education. So if you look on the slide here, you can see that generally speaking, students take between 3 and 7 years to complete, with the average being about 4 or 5 years, start to finish. Our students have done some exemplary work in terms of their dissertations, and I wanted to highlight two here that were university award winners. A few years ago, Dr. Berta Morgan created an outstanding dissertation, collective biography of the founders of the AAUW, just a fantastic work, and won dissertation of the year a few years ago. Her chairperson was Dr. Thalia Mulvihill, one of our outstanding faculty members. Just 1 year, I believe 1 year later, Dr. Lorna Timmerman and her dissertation, Self-Determination in Transitioning First-Year College Students with and Without Disabilities, using MapWorks for assessment. And her chairperson was Dr. Roger Wessel, emeritus faculty member with the program, just outstanding work. So just two examples of some of the scholarship that our students have produced. And work that's won awards at the university level. We're super proud of these graduates of the program. We've got students in our program with a variety of backgrounds. Most of our students are working full-time in higher education and going to school part-time. However, we do have a few full-time students, and we certainly welcome those folks who want to kind of go at an intense pace and get this finished. But two students on the screen. On the right is Chris Cathcart. He is currently working at Ivy Tech, Chief Student Affairs Officer in the Fort Wayne campus. So Chris is on the right. On the left, we see Rosalinda Ortiz, who is a fantastic student, came to us from Texas and is doing some excellent work around dual credit, dual enrollment within the community college sector right now. Chris is in the process of moving toward his dissertation, where he's going to be looking at the career pathways of Black male community college presidents. Just some examples of our current students. Another thing to mention, that many of our current students are award winners, and you'll see here, if you look to the right of the screen, under Indianapolis, you'll see Claire Maxon, one of our current students who's recently won a faculty award through Ivy Tech, exceptional student there, doing great things, both inside the classroom and in her work. Another student to highlight here, spoke about her before, but Rosalinda Ortiz was recently named a Tache Graduate Fellow. Super proud of her and the work that she's been able to do to garner this prestigious award. Wanted to share, with permission, a quote from one of our recent graduates, Dr. Jessica Rager. And she said, she wrote this in an email to me, I do want to share with you just how much I have grown to appreciate and value my education at Ball State. Starting this fall, the University of South Carolina has made that more clear than ever. I've been blessed with role models second to none between you, Drs. Mulvihill and Wessel. Not a day goes by that I'm not using the techniques and knowledge from my doctoral coursework. And something as simple as the quiet coyote, which is kind of a fun thing that we do in class. And students in my classes are responding so positively. I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you. You've been such a wonderful role model and have helped me develop as an educator so much. One of the touch points or one of the highlights of our program really is that I believe, and I think our students would agree, that we are able to offer high quality personalized mentoring to our students, and we really care. We genuinely do, and want our students to develop, to learn, to grow, both as people, professionals, educators, and higher education leaders. So this is Dr. Rager, her profile from South Carolina. Good news, she's recently taken a position upon graduating at the University of Iowa. So we're excited to see the work that she's doing and will continue to do. Wanted to highlight another one of our alumni, Dr. Tobin Richardson, here at West Virginia University, has gone on to be kind of in a hybrid role, faculty administrator hybrid. We're proud of the work that he's been able to do with living learning communities, and a number of our students are doing great things. Our students typically are currently, like I mentioned before, currently working in higher ed full-time, pursuing the degree part-time, and many students opt into doctoral education in order to obtain the credentials, earn the credentials that they need to make that next level move up within their career. So it may be moving from an assistant director position to a director position. It may be moving from a dean to a VP position. It really depends on the student and their career trajectory, but this is often a credential that's necessary for them to take that next step. So how to apply? You'll see here on the screen we have 8 items that are necessary in order to apply for the program. So if you look at the right side of the screen, you've got the general application. So you've got to go through the graduate school's website, pull up the application, fill out all the requested information. So that's one. Transcripts are necessary, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, unofficial transcripts will work for the application. One thing that is of interest, the third bullet point there, GRE scores. Our graduate school, and we've kind of gone in this path as well as a program, is now making the GRE optional as of applicants for the spring 2020 semester. So if you have GRE scores, go ahead and submit those, but if you don't, that should not keep you from applying. We are not leaning on those data in terms of our admissions matrix as much as we perhaps have in the past. So that's something to keep in mind. 3 letters of reference are required, and we also require some writing items from you, an autobiography, philosophy of education and learning, a description of your goals, and then finally your resume or CV. If you look to the left of the screen, you'll see that we have 3 admission points for the program, and those are aligned with our 3 academic semesters. So applications for fall, we've just passed that date. Today, the day that I'm recording this is July 9th. So if you are watching this and are interested in applying, our next admission cycle is for the spring, and the deadline for that is November 1. And then for the upcoming summer semester admission, the deadline is April 1. What you would do is go to the graduate school's webpage and then click on the upper right, the Apply Now button, which will take you to this site. And remember, we've passed the deadline to begin in 2019, so you would click on the Start in 2020 hyperlink to begin the process. All right, I know that I've covered a lot of information within this video, so if you have questions, which I'm sure you do, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm there via email, via phone, and on social media. Thank you so much for the time that you've taken to watch this video, and I appreciate you. Thanks again.